Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the live, y'all. How you guys doing today? Welcome back. I'm gonna just wait till people start coming into the room, y'all. How y'all doing on this beautiful Monday? Happy Monday, y'all. Today we're gonna be talking about manipulation and the spirituality behind it, especially boundaries itself. I noticed that a lot of you guys like to talk about boundaries. So I'm super excited to talk about that today, and manipulation in general, how not to be manipulated, especially by saying no. Hello, Andrew. How are you? Welcome in. Especially how to say no, y'all. So we're going to talk about that today and how that can really protect you, be like a spiritual wall for you, so that when you are engaging with people who are natural manipulators, you are not being manipulated. It will be easy for you to decipher it, see it, and avoid it. Okay, so we're going to talk about that today. I'm going to add a poll. Let me see what I'm going to ask you guys today on this beautiful Monday. Okay. Oh, I love that. Hey, John, how are you? Everything's going well for me. Today's a good day. Actually, I feel like the whole week, it's a good week in general. It's a good week. Everything's going well for me. So I'm glad to catch up with y'all. I'm glad when I see everybody come in. It's like yesterday when I came on live, it felt like I haven't seen you guys in so long. It felt like years, honestly. So you say you on vacation? Where you go on vacation? Let me see. Okay, so I commented to poll. So it's not an actual like poll. What it's going to be is going to be an I want you guys to comment below. I want you guys to tell me y'all's boundary. What is one boundary that you guys have? Okay. I love it. I love it when people take off just so they can. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna pin this comment right here. There we go. Oh, hey, y'all. So I pinned the comment. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started on the conversation. Before we get started, remember, we're hosting our first workshop this Saturday. This Saturday is coming up, y'all. So make sure you sign up if you have not signed up yet. Remember, this is not for people who are not into personal development. This is for people who are interested in personal development. This is for people who want more for themselves in this lifetime. They want to grow, whether that be in relationships, whether that be financially, or just within their own needs themselves and knowing what they want. So make sure you sign up for the workshop. This workshop is for people who've been feeling stuck anywhere in their life. They've been feeling stuck and they want to get unstuck. They want the life changing skill that they can use for the rest of their life that will keep them unstuck. So if you're interested in that, book below. I pinned it in the comments. Make sure you sign up. Y'all don't want to miss out, because I teach y'all so much and I talk about so much on this channel, on these lives. I talk about so much, but hearing something is different from applying it in real time. So I'm teaching you how to apply it, and you'll feel the shift. By the end of the workshop, you'll feel release and relief. Okay, so I will see y'all there. I'm super excited to see who is joining. So we're going to go ahead and get into the topic today. And today we're talking about the moment you start being manipulated, the moment you start you will stop being manipulated. This is how you'll be feeling, and this is what will be happening in those moments, y'all. So let me tell y'all a story. I think I told y'all this story. Hello, Mr. Trapping and Capping. You said my main boundary is if you disrespect me in public, leave with or without you in a relationship that day. Exactly. And no public disrespect is crazy. Public disrespect is crazy. So if y'all have a boundary, let me know. So I'm gonna tell y'all a story, and I'm pretty sure I told this a long time ago, but when I was younger, I used to work at Babies R Us. This is before they shut down Babies R Us, right? So I used to work there, and I was a young kid. I was like in high school when I started working there. And so I used to be like, okay, I'm not working on a Sunday. I'll probably work like 2 or 3 days a week. But I knew for sure, like, I don't want to work on a Sunday. I want my Sundays to myself. Self-care Sunday, y'all. Self-care Sunday. So I told the manager that. The manager was like, the manager who made the schedule was like, okay, you know, you don't have to work. Randomly, someone came up to me, a coworker. She came up to me, and we're just having small talk. And she's like, oh, you don't work on Sundays? And I'm like, no, I don't work on Sundays. She's like, why you don't work on Sundays? You got to go to church or something? I was like, no, it's just because I don't want to. And she was like, oh, okay. And that was the end of the conversation, right? So then later that day, my manager came to me, and he was like, you know you have to work on Sunday. Like, it's mandatory. I was a teenager, under the age of 18, not knowing. So I was just like, oh, I didn't know that. And then he started putting me on the schedule, and I started working Sundays. And so as a young child, it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot, y'all. And Saturday, exactly. It taught me a lot, y'all, because that was a form of manipulation, number one. The lady who came up to me was asking me those questions. She was deceiving me and manipulating me in that moment. And then on top of that, the manager was doing the same thing. Because he said one thing originally, and then when he heard other information, he shifted and changed and approached me differently, you know? So that is a form of deception and manipulation altogether. And I learned in that moment to, number one, keep my mouth shut. I don't tell coworkers all my business. Okay. I don't tell coworkers anything. They're not gonna know much about me. And then also being aware of people who are there to just deceive and manipulate you. Hey Rico, how you doing, friend? People who are just there to deceive and manipulate you in that moment. People will be coming up to you just so they can get more information about you, so they can understand how to approach you, how to maneuver around you, how to deceive you more often. So really not giving everybody all the information that they need to know about you is something that I learned in that moment. So that helped me to build a boundary of I'm not telling coworkers my business. I will lie at work if I need to, but I typically don't have to, because it's like I'm at a point where I say what I said, you know, like I'm not coming in. I don't even give like most of the time, unless it's consistently where I'm not coming into work, I'm not giving you a reason why I'm not coming. I'm just not coming. You know, I'm not explaining myself, not extending. I'm letting you know what it is, and that's just what it is. So that is definitely one boundary that I learned from that situation, is you need strong boundaries around work, because there are people at work who will manipulate you so that you can work more, so that you can work harder. Boundaries at work is a must. Exactly. You said we can do that when we have been there long enough. Never let coworkers feel like they know you. Exactly. So I want to start off this conversation by letting you guys know that manipulation only works when you're uncertain. And in that same instance, I was uncertain. I wasn't certain that, okay, I'm never working a Sunday. There was no actual physical thing in me that said, no matter what is happening, I'm never working a Sunday. Hey PR, how you doing? So manipulation happens when you are uncertain about yourself or the environment that you're in, right? So if you have any self-doubt, or if somebody has the ability to come in and question what you're doing and how you're doing it, and you're not strong in that understanding. So it's just like if you're baking a cake. Well, I know most of the people who watch the live are not baking cakes, probably. Let me see. What's something that y'all would do? If you're working on a car, right? If you're working on a car and your girl comes out and she's like, are you sure that's what you're supposed to be doing? And if you get an attitude like, yeah, I know, why you asking me questions? Instead of being for sure and saying, yeah, this is what this is how you do this, A, B, and C, that is showing a little bit of self-doubt. You wish someone would tell you how to do your job. That is an example of having self-doubt in those moments, and someone making you question yourself. Now, is that person wrong in that example? No. They may truly be confused themselves, but your reaction to what they're saying is showing your own personal self-doubt and insecurities. So if you want to really never be manipulated and set strong boundaries, you have to be truly aware of who you are in every given moment and what you're doing and how you're doing it, and not be upset when someone is questioning you. You have to be confident in being able to be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Even though you keep asking me the same question over and over again, this is how I'm gonna do it, and I'm very confident in it. You can't shift me and woo me in any other way, you know? When you can trust your own discernment, nobody can manipulate you. That is a form of a boundary. Is you trusting yourself. You're saying that, hey, I know what I'm doing. I'm confident in what I'm doing. So this is okay. You cannot make me question myself. Nobody can override my mind, and I'm not going to feel insecure in what I'm doing no matter how many questions you ask me. If somebody can come in and ask you 3 questions and you start to feel insecure about whatever you're doing or who you are, you never had a strong foundation to begin with. Y'all feel me? You never had a strong foundation to begin with, y'all. Mind you, y'all, it's allergy season. My eyes start to water during allergy season, y'all. You said you'll be sarcastic at AF. Girl, what am I trying to say? You'll be sarcastic AF answering them, even the owner. Not you be sarcastic. So yeah, don't allow other people to make you question yourself. That if someone is asking questions or making you feel like you're questioning yourself, that should be a #1 indicator that your foundation is not strong enough. And honestly, you should be thankful that them people made you question yourself, because it gives you a pinpoint of what to fix in your own reality or within your own self. You feel me? So that's the first thing that I really want you guys to understand when it comes to the moment you can see someone has the opportunity or ability to manipulate you. Because when they see that you're uncertain, you're not standing your ground on it, they'll keep poking. And something that's not foundationally strong, if you poke at it too long, it will crumble. Literally. Okay? So make sure that you are certain and you're grounded and confident within yourself, what you're doing and why you're doing it. Always have your why. It could be as simple as because I want to. That it could be just that simple. That is my why, because I want to. So the next thing I really wanted to talk about, y'all, is one of my favorite things to talk about. Y'all know it's one of my favorite things to talk about when it comes to manipulation and it comes to boundary setting. It's really one of my favorite things to talk about, y'all, honestly. And this is seeking validation. Hello, Sound Income Studios. So seeking validation. Hello, Joseph. You know it's T when them 2 fingers touching. Y'all heard that one? So seeking validation is one of my favorite ones, because a lot of times people who are seeking validation like to blame shift and blame other people for their problems, when in reality you're the person with the problems. It's because you need validation. Whether that is you need a place to stay, this person has more power or understanding than you, or you just think this person is the finest person in the world. People seek validation because somewhere within them, they are uncertain within themselves. So they use something outside of them to be a goalpost to reflect who they are. Even though they already have whatever they're seeking within them, they just have not built that to be strong within them, right? So when you need approval, attention, or even reassurance, right? If you need any of those things, you most likely are seeking validation. Scratch out most. You are seeking validation if you're needing approval, reassurance, or even attention altogether. If you need to walk, if you always, every time you get dressed to go somewhere and you always have to call someone or ask somebody if this outfit is cute, you don't validate yourself. Hello, Mug, how are you? If you are building something, let's say you're painting a picture and you need to always ask somebody, is this the right color? You need validation. If you are applying for jobs and you always need to ask somebody, should I apply to this job? You need validation. Somewhere in you, you do not have a strong foundation for you to make those decisions for yourself, right? And so you can see someone who needs validation, they might over explain themselves. They might always have to ask for someone's advice or opinion. So what do you think? Why do you think this? What should I do next, right? Someone who needs validation will be trying to prove their worth. They will do stuff like, so subconsciously, like it will feel like a puppy dog wanting to get a treat after doing things, right? Oh, look what I did. Or like a little kid, you know how little kids are, like they paint a picture or they're doing something they just find so fascinating. They're like, mommy, look at this. Look how cute it is. Look how nice it is. Look what I did. Well, look what the colors I use, right? Like that, those are examples of people seeking validation, right? Those are examples of people seeking validation. Other things could be you staying in conversations or trying to prove yourself in conversations instead of just letting it go and allowing people to have their own thoughts, or always trying to change somebody's mind. Those are forms of seeking validation. If you always need someone to understand you, or you always have to have somebody on your side, that means you need validation. A strong individual who will not be manipulated will never need anybody else's opinion, right? Unless it's a professional, right? You know, if we're going to go to a professional, that's a little different. Y'all should go to a professional. Always go to a professional. Like a king and a queen does. They always got professionals around them to support them. But in general, everyday human beings, regular people, you do not need their opinion. You do not need your mama, grandma, daddy, papa, sister, brother, next door neighbor, pastor. You don't need none of them people's opinion all the time. Maybe a once in a while, every blue moon, like, oh, okay, I can get your input, what you think. But every single day, you need somebody to tell you if they agree with you, or if you're right, or if you should do something. You will be manipulated, because the more you keep asking everybody else's thoughts, you will consume it all, and you'll never have the ability to really decipher your own thoughts. When you have the ability to be self-aware and say, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm feeling, and that's the first thing you go to, then you're going to be mentally strong, very mentally strong. But if you always need someone else's opinion, you're going to be mentally weak. It's inevitable. What y'all talking about? Let me see. Y'all be looking at the name. What's my name? My name is the Sage Woman, y'all. Y'all see I changed my name, y'all? The Sage Woman. Oh, that's what you're talking about, John. Oh, you like the name? Y'all like the name? I just changed it like a week or two ago. Not just I'll let it be known it sound dumb. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mug. Thank you so much, sweetie. Hey, Green. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay. Good night, Jesse. Good night, y'all. I see a lot of people are not voting. Y'all gotta let me know in the comment. Everybody, I got 9 votes. So y'all gotta answer the question in the comment. Hello, Renee. So that's why seeking validation is one of my favorite things, is because a lot of people don't realize when they're seeking validation. Like, you do stuff with the intention of, oh, this person's gonna be there. Like, women who seek male validation, they're like, oh, it's gonna be men there, let me dress up a little differently. They dress and they walk and they talk differently because a man gonna be in the room. Or someone who needs validation from their mama consistently, they gonna be like, well, let me call my mama first, let me see what my mama say, you know. So when you stop trying to be chosen and understood by people, it will be a moment where you will see the manipulators around you, because you no longer need that. A lot of people don't realize the spiritual attachments around them. And it could be so simple as making a decision that I don't need someone's outside opinion, where that spiritual attachment is removed and people feel it energetically. Like, it's an energetic feeling. I've had spiritual attachments removed, and out of the blue, those same people are reaching out to me. I haven't talked to you in a long time, but now as soon as I remove that spiritual attachments, now you're here trying to get back into my aura, my space, so that you can feed off that energy again. People don't realize that people are consuming your energy. The more you need validation, the more you're giving someone power. Power just being the ability to do something. And the ability that they have over you is to manipulate your mind, what you're thinking, how you're doing things. Yes, it can be a form of energy vampires, Rico, if they are manipulative. Now, if you have someone who's caring, not everybody's going to be worried about manipulating you. Some people will just give you their opinion and move on and not care. But there are some people who will take that and realize the power that they have over you and consume it, right? It's spiritual. It's really real. Happy birthday. Is it your birthday? Happy birthday. It's really real, y'all. So you know, you got to stop worrying about everybody else's opinion. I get it if you're young. Most of the people who watch my videos are around the age 25 to about 50. Most, the larger chunk. But I do know that there are people who are under the age of 25. When you're under the age of 25, your brain is not fully developed. So sometimes that will be a time where it's going to be easier to manipulate you. But once you turn 25 to 27, where your brain is settling into development, if you are still so worried about other people's opinion, getting everybody else's idea before you do something, you need serious help. You need to go to therapy. Hey, LA Peaches, how you doing, girl? How are you? You said that's actually bad for someone to do that, to be an energy vampire? So stop seeking validation. You don't need anybody else to make you strong. Even in our previous videos where we talked about validation, I think we have a whole video where we talked about validation. The thing that validates you is gravity itself. It keeps you here. It keeps you strong. It keeps you consistent. Keeps your bones strong. You know, things that can validate you is affirmations. You say affirmations every day in the mirror, do mirror work. Those are things that could support you in being validated. But you are already a valid human being. Sometimes you just need to key into what's making you valid, which is literally, quite literally, gravity is making you a valid human being. Seriously. You said, be comfortable and confident in your own skin. When you know who you are and love who you are, you won't care about any outside approval. You know it's T when the 2 fingers clocking or tapping. What she say? I'm already forgetting what she said. Oh my God. Okay. Here's another thing that I really like. And I'm not liking the action of doing it. But when you are strong and you start seeing people do this. So let's say you no longer need that validation. You stop seeking validation. People realize that they lost their power over you. People will guilt you. It is a real thing. This is how manipulators really guilt you. And this is how you know how much you've grown, is if that guilt works on you or not, right? Because manipulators love to guilt. Because most people who need validation and attention and reassurance, they already in some way feel shame and guilt. They don't feel valid, they don't feel strong, they don't feel confident, right? So they already have that. So they're playing on an emotion that is super strong in you already, right? So they'll say stuff like, after all I've done for you, if you got a parent like that, they're manipulators. A parent should never be like, I've done so much for you, you're going to treat me like this? Well, that was kind of your job as a parent. It's kind of your role as a parent to take care of me, feed me, clothe me, give me a house, provide safety and reassurance and love. It's kind of like the things that parents do. You have a friend who say, after all I've done for you, you will never be who you are without me. Also, why'd you do it? You didn't do it with a mindset of unconditional love and giving. Oh, you must have did that because you wanted some type of power over me. You've only done things to give me power. If you hear someone say that to you, after all I've done for you, that is a key indicator that they are probably manipulating you, and that you should probably take a break from that relationship until you no longer feel guilty and care about what they do. Because once somebody's like, after all I've done for you, you should be able to say, well, thank you. I appreciate what you've done, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go against my boundaries, go against my spiritual needs, go against who I am as a person just to make you feel okay in your life, you know? Another thing people will tell you, they're going to be like, you've changed. This is not who you used to be. Well, change is inevitable. And oftentimes people who do not change get stuck in their patterns. And that's not healthy, to be stuck in the same pattern every day for the rest of your life. So people, they'll be like, you've changed. And really what they're trying to do is make you feel guilty for whatever way in which you most likely is growth. Most of the time is growth. You know, some people can change for the worse. That is possible. But if someone's saying you changed in a tone that they want to make you feel bad or guilty, pay attention to that. Well, in what ways did I change? Why is my change affecting you? Why are you upset about the way in which I changed? You know, these are things that you should be asking yourself. People are going to be like, you're so selfish. They're saying these things because they want to make you feel guilty. They want to make you feel bad about whatever you're doing, whatever boundary you set up. So if you set up a boundary and you say, hey, I don't like when you yell at me and you scream at me when you tell me about what you don't like. Oh, you're so selfish. This is who I am. You've changed. You used to let me do this. Oh, well, I used to not realize that I had the ability to speak up and communicate my needs. But now I realize that I can, and so I'm doing that. Oh, well, after all I've done for you, you're going to be worried about how I'm speaking to you? Yes, quite literally I will. Quite literally I will. So, you know, sometimes growth could look like you not allowing someone to disrespect you. Because once you allow someone to disrespect you, you are now abandoning yourself. Self-abandoning is a real thing. Hey, girl, Ari the Fire Girl, I love that you changed your name, girl. Hey, I love it. Self-abandoning can look like you not sticking to what feels right, what is good for you at the end of the day. So if you don't want people to come in trying to manipulate you in your world, stop allowing people to make you feel guilt and shame. And a lot of times people who are trying to put guilt and shame onto you because they know that that's going to make you feel bad, they have a lot within themselves. So you could just sometimes just reflect the same thing back. They start talking about you change, you did too. After all I've done for you, after all the things I let you do for me. You know, oh, you're so selfish. Why are you so selfless? Flip it back. You know? What are you talking about? You said, humans trust be mentally prepared and strong enough to understand when you're being deceived, especially deceived by something spiritual you don't understand because it's real. Yeah. 3 ways to shake someone who's deceiving you is look at them in the eyes, directly start looking, moving your eyes towards their shoes, stare for a few seconds, and just look up and don't say anything. Oh, I never heard that before. You said, to be honest, I feel like the guy that manipulated me were probably really good manipulators. Like, I feel like they were pretty experienced at manipulating others. They made their lies seem believable. Ooh. Wow. Hey, Larulawal. Hi. Hi, sister. Hello. You said one boundary I have is never stopping by to chill with those streets. Jeez. Don't hang out with the street people. Exactly. I like that. Also, they will usually give me good excuses to or be misleading. Like, for example, they say they aren't looking for a relationship. They can go a couple of different ways. Yeah. I feel like when somebody tells you they're not looking for a relationship, what they really mean is with you. That is like, that's typically the parentheses. Most of the time parentheses is left out in conversation. So in parentheses, they really mean with you. So, because anybody who finds a person, especially a man who finds a woman that they really like, there's no relationship. We're not, it's going to be, hey, what you doing? This is what we about to do. We together, You said, I have a question. As a good man, I find it very annoying. Like, why can't you guys find good men? As a good man, I find it very annoying. Like, why can't you find good men? I don't know. I think you would have to answer that question for, are you saying like women, why can't women find women? I think as a man, you probably hang out with more men, so you would be able to tell me better. I don't know. I think there's a lot of women who feel like they have a good man. Not all of them for sure, but it's a few I know. It's a little bit that I know. Let me not say a few. It's a couple, maybe. Exactly. There's so many good people. Yeah. Like in some of those cases, they really weren't looking for or ready for one. But in other cases, I went through the painful scenario of them choosing another girl and getting into a relationship with her. Oh, my God. Yeah, just always remember that when somebody says, I'm not looking for a relationship, remember that those parentheses are there and they really mean with you. But what they're really saying is, I can't communicate that I would rather just talk to you and get to know you and maybe have sex with you, but I don't want to commit to you because you're not my type. You're not the type of person I want to be with for whatever reason. It could be many reasons. Some people are very smooth talkers, are liars. The thing about it is, that's what boundaries are for. One thing I started implementing as I got older was not giving my number out to everybody who asked me. When I was younger, somebody would be like, oh, can I get your number? And I'm like, oh, yeah. But as I get older, I actually have a mental checklist that I go through when somebody asks for my number. And if I like the answers that they say, then I'll give them my number. But if I don't like the answers that they say, I'll keep it cool and be like, oh, no, I'm okay, but thank you. Because the last time that I gave my number out to somebody, and it was my last time doing it, this person sent me like 40 pictures and videos of them. And I only was talking to them on the phone for 2 days. And I said, you know what, that's my last straw. I'm tired of this. So at the end of the day, Ari, it is possible that sometimes it's just your own boundaries. When you have strong boundaries, it will be difficult for people to manipulate you and be smooth talkers. Because talk is cheap, actions is a different thing. People could tell you, I don't listen to anything a person tells me verbally. I pay attention to what they're doing with their actions. So a man can tell you, oh, I want to marry you. You so beautiful. You're my wife. You're wifey. But then it's been a month that y'all been talking. You ain't been on a date. He ain't bought you a ring. He ain't even bought you a present. He ain't even bought you a promise ring. He ain't even sent you lunch or flowers. These are actions that show that words are cheap. Some people, and I will say that if you grew up in a background where you've had family members or parents who were not accountable or who did not follow through, it will be easier to listen to talk because that's what you're used to. But a lot of men like to paint a picture. And for women who don't have strong boundaries, they allow the image and the visuals that the man talks about to create the reality that is not truly there. So a man will be like, oh, you're so beautiful. I can't wait to take you out. I can't wait to be with you. You my girl. But at the same time, they're creating this visual and it makes you feel connected to them because you have this visual in your mind. But in reality, those things are not, there's nothing that this person is doing action wise that show that they're actually believing in what they're saying. So a lot of men get away with talking, and that's why I don't like a man who talks too much. Why are you talking so much? I start to feel like it's a little girly. This is just me. But as they say, don't give the man the mics. Take the podcast away from the man. I don't like when a man talks so much. Why are you talking so much? Initially, as you get more comfortable with somebody and they become your person, that's different. But like initially, it should be more action based. I want to get to know you. Let's go out. Let's go to dinner and not talk. But as you get older, that's something that you learn if you were not taught that through your parents, Is a long distance relationship good or bad? I mean, like 12 hours away, I wouldn't do it. But some people say those things work. I'm not doing a long distance relationship. Because then guess what we doing on the phone all the time? Talking. I don't want to just talk to somebody. So I believe in right person, wrong timing, to be honest. Yeah, I don't believe in right person, wrong timing. I do not believe in that. If it didn't work out, it was not the right person. And it was the right time because it happened. But it was not the right person if it didn't work out. Every time I talk to a new woman, she always trashing the gender. If you talk to a woman and she's trashing man, that means she has an unhealthy relationship with men. And if you're a man, you probably want to leave her. A woman, there are common understandings around men that, in whole, a lot of men are sexually focused. They're more focused on sex more often. And a lot of times there are men who will manipulate you, even subconsciously, to get what they want out of you. But at the end of the day, that's how you'll know if you should pursue a woman, if her relationship with man is unhealthy. I'm gonna say this one time: if a woman's relationship with man in general is unhealthy, you will not have a good relationship with her because you are a man. So it's the same way that I wouldn't be with a man who's talking about, oh, women are so emotional and women make terrible decisions and women shouldn't be leaders in work. Like, what? I'm a woman. Everything that you think is going to affect me first because I'm with you before anybody else. So be careful, women who don't have a good relationship with men. The Observer said, I'm glad I'm married. I'm glad you're married too. Shout out to your woman or your husband, whoever you're married to. You said, I'm sure that some men will still tell their dream woman that they aren't ready for a relationship if they really felt that they aren't ready. Possibly. But at the same time, that means they probably have a plan. Most likely. They probably have a plan. They know where they're going. They know what they're doing. I would only imagine that if a man tells their dream woman, the woman that they know for sure is everything that they want in their life, if they say that out of every woman who I ever met, this is the one woman who I want to be with, and I know this is not the right time, they have to have some type of plan in place going on in their life to say that. Other than that, I don't see a man being like, oh, this is my dream woman. I'm gonna tell her I'm not cool with you. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. Some men really just don't want a relationship or really aren't ready. Yeah, some men don't want a relationship, so they're stringing you along because what they want is they want to have sex or they want to be with multiple women. That's another parentheses. I don't want a relationship because I want to have sex with other women. I don't want to be locked down so I can date other women. That's the parentheses sometimes. So why do you choose them? Oh, okay, that's not me. You can make your mouth say anything. Exactly. It's possible to be so busy to where a relationship would thrive in your world, like a super packed work schedule and all. I believe in that, but I mean, as someone who has dated busy men, a busy man makes time for what they want. Like a busy man will be like, I'm so busy, but before I go to work, I want to see you. I'm so busy, but I'm free on this date. I want to see you. Let me tell you, even busy men find time to hang out and chill. Busy men, they'll go to the bar after work. I don't know if you ever noticed, I don't know if you go to bars, but you predominantly, if you see somebody alone at the bar, it's going to be a man. I've met busy men who were traveling for work and they came into the bar because they just wanted to get a drink before going home. And they never at home, but they're somewhere doing something. Busy men, they're gonna find an outlet to get and do stuff. You know, they're gonna talk to you. A busy man is going to talk to who they want to talk to. I promise you that from personal experience. I promise you that. They'll be so busy, they'll be traveling from city to city, and they'll still find time to talk to you. They'll work 12-hour shifts, going from 2 different cities in 3 weeks. Let me see. I don't know if that makes sense. 3 different cities in 2 weeks, work 12-hour shifts, and they'll still find time to talk to you and call you every day. I'm telling you, it's possible. I'm gonna tell you the truth, Ari. I don't think I've heard a man, personally, I don't think I've heard a man tell me they were not ready for a relationship. I don't know if I've ever actually heard that, at least anytime recently, maybe in the past 4 years. I don't think I've heard that in the past 4 years. If anybody's saying that, actually, I just said that just a couple of days ago. I just said that a couple of days ago to somebody. And you know why let me tell you, you know why I told them that? Because I asked them particular questions when they asked for my number. And I didn't like what they said. So I told them, I'm too busy. I have a life going on. I don't think I'm ready for a relationship right now. So that's firsthand experience. I'm telling you from my own experience who I said that to and why I said it. Yeah, all right. But some people just don't want to communicate straight, you know. Sometimes you got to take that for what it is. Like people don't owe you an explanation. Like nobody owes you an explanation, and a lot of times not even your parents going to give you an explanation for everything. So we can't really expect explanations for anybody. You have to have your own boundaries and standards, and the people who fall into those boundaries and standards, okay, that's cool. But if they don't, like you got to let that be, you know? How can you get to know someone without talking? You ask who, what made you ask that question, Andrew? I don't know. Without talking, texting? I don't know. Oh my, Lions, welcome back. Not you been cheating. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I mean, the timing definitely isn't always right when we meet someone, even if they aren't for us, but that's what I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Ari. People do meet people at the wrong time and they come back. It's possible, but you can't live your life thinking that, okay, this is the person for me. Like, most of the time when people meet at the wrong time, they move on. And life just so happened to bring them back together. Like, they move on and live their life and forget about that person. So I don't ever want anybody to stop living their life thinking that this person is the person for me. It's just the wrong time. Let me go become a nun. You know, like, let's not do that. You wish, Peso, how old are you? You say you wish you grew up in the 90s? I have an issue when I treat people good, they run. Well, if you treat people good and they run, that means, well, first we got to ask ourselves, is this truly treating people good? I will say, Peso, I will never believe a man who say that they are a good man. Anytime a man has said I'm a good man, they have done terrible things. And I've stopped talking to them because of it, you know? So me personally, I don't believe that I'm a good man. I feel like if you have to say who you are, if you have to announce yourself to the room, that means that people cannot see that themselves. Like, I don't go around the world saying I'm a black woman. You know, I don't do that because people can see that in me. Even I don't even go around saying I'm a good woman because most people can see that in me. You know, so I would say first get that out your vocabulary because, um, you know, you just don't have to announce that to the room. People will see that through your actions. And if you're treating someone well and they're running, that means they're not used to being treated well, and that's actually a good thing that they ran away, and you don't have to make the decision to cut them off. So they doing you a favor is what it sounds like to me. Make sure y'all double tap the live, y'all. Yeah, I'm telling you, Art, it doesn't matter if somebody's work schedule is busy. If they want to talk to you, they will make time. I promise you. They will be texting you all the time. And you're going to be like, ew, get off my phone. Why are you texting me all the time? Sean, no, I have not seen it. Sean, look, Sean, I get a break next week. Let me watch it over my break next week. Let me put it on the to-do list. Let me put it on the to-do list just for you. Lost in tomorrow. I'll put it on the to-do list just for you, girl. Oh, okay. Yeah, don't even be friends with a man. I don't believe in friendship with a man. I think that men who can be friends with you don't find you attractive. And then I also start feeling like, I feel like if you build a friendship with the man, it's because y'all are in the same place. But like just randomly finding friendship with the man, like if I built a friendship, I can't even build friendships with a man at work. The man don't know how to keep their mouth shut at work. Once a man start calling you cute, beautiful, you can't be friends with them. It's like trying to be friends with a hungry tiger. They gonna try to eat you up, girl. Don't be friends with these men. Unless they gay or unless y'all really just in the same vicinity. Fashion? What you mean, John? John is funny. You said I sound like I was a man in my past. Like I could be. I could have been. I don't know. I be seeing it. You believe me, Sage? What you believe me in? Okay. Honorable Daniel from Ghana. Shout out to you. Shout out to the honorable. They don't need to give me an explanation, but it will be considerate of them. Yeah. But Ari, you've been feeling that same way for like years, Ari, about you wanting people to give you an explanation and you want people to key you in. I would say for you, Ari, the best thing that you can do is if you feel like someone is being silent, is you just open the floor and say, hey, I noticed that you know, you kind of don't talk to me or you're not interested in me. Can you be honest with me and let me know what it is? And be like, I promise I won't, you know, get upset. And just let them respond, whatever they say, let that be, and just be like, thank you, and move on. Because some people will be like, they won't feel comfortable enough to let you know why they don't want to continue a relationship, and then other people will. So if you ask, it's like you getting feedback from the community that you seeking attention from, right? So just ask them and be like, hey, like when I told you earlier that a man sent me like 40 pictures and I stopped responding, and they was like, oh, you stopped responding to me, and I said, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work, and I just gave them my little verbiage, and then they came back and they were like, oh, well, what made you make that decision? And I told them exactly the reason, and they said, okay. And I bet they won't be sending nobody else 40 pictures in 2 days, and if they do, they're mentally ill. So, just ask for their what they think. Ask for validation. Okay, Honorable Daniel from Ghana, period. So we're gonna keep the conversation going. I'm trying to read everything, but y'all typing. I love it. I like that y'all chatting it up. You didn't know Sean was here. Yeah, hey Sean. Hmm. Restraining order worthy. Trust and believe. I stopped communicating with that person immediately. Definitely made me create the boundaries that I needed. I said, never again. Never again. You said women better come up to me. I don't approach women anymore. Understand y'all have to want the man for a relationship to work. Okay, so let's keep going. So when it comes to not being manipulated, keeping your boundaries, this is a form of validation because your emotions validate you. I was actually just having a conversation. I don't want to get too off topic, y'all. I don't want to get too off topic, but I was just having a conversation about eating a healthy whole foods diet. And because my younger brother, shout out to my little brother, sometimes he be watching the lives, but I don't think he ever participate. But he's turning 18. I'm so proud of him. So I wanted to let him know, like, hey, like, here is the tea. These are the things that I learned at my big age. Oh my goodness. These are the things that I learned at my big age. So I like to like give him life lessons around his birthday, which I think 18 gonna be his last birthday because he grown now. So ain't no life lessons after 18, maybe up to 21. It depends on what he wants. But one of his life lessons that I was telling him is that whole foods diet is difficult. And the reason why it can be difficult for some, especially the crackheads in America, is because the processed food is addictive. And a lot of times processed food gives you an emotional like high. So like you'll eat a processed food and you'll feel full, number one. And then on top of that, you'll have like a dopamine or serotonin or some type of hormonal rush that makes you feel differently after you eat it. Versus when you eat a whole foods, no sugar diet, first of all, you get full, your brain has that indicator that I'm full and you don't overeat. On top of that, you don't have different emotional highs and lows. So people are addicted to the food, not just because of the taste, but because of the emotional highs and lows that you get after eating those foods, right? So people are addicted to emotions. But the thing about it is people are addicted to certain emotions, but not self-aware enough to know what those emotions are. So when you are trying to realize, am I being manipulated? Let me tell y'all something. Food wise, this I'm using food as an example, right? So I just went to this place called Piata pasta place. I heard about it a lot on the internet. So I was like, let me try it out. So I went there to try it out and it was really good. But one thing that I began noticing after I started shifting towards a healthier whole foods diet is when food is addicting. When I am hungry, even after I eat a full meal. So after I ate it, I ate that and I ate leftovers, and both times it made me hungry for more food. I wanted more food. I wanted something sweet afterwards, which to me is not a normal thing to still be hungry after you eat. So what I realized is that this food is good and I probably will eat it in the future. Not consistently, but in the future I might. But at the end of that, I have to realize they have addictive substances in this food. Whether it's the process, whether it's additives, whatever additives, GMO, genetically modified food, there is something in this food that is manipulating my physical system to feel addicted and want more of this or to want more food when I'm done, right? But some people are not self-aware enough to acknowledge those emotions and that behavior. You shouldn't be hungry even after you eat, right? So sometimes your body will feel manipulation, right? Like a lot of people ignore the physical symptoms that their body sends them when they start to feel manipulation. So they might feel their chest tightening. They might feel like they're overthinking, overwhelmed with thoughts, confused, drained. They get drained after all the interactions, or they're consistently replaying the conversation over and over again, right? And this is why I'm having the intensive this Saturday. Y'all need to sign up. Because if y'all have those type of emotions where you're overthinking, overwhelmed, drained after interactions with people, or even drained after trying to figure out what you want for your life, this is what that intensive is for, y'all. This is what this workshop is for, y'all. It's going to be a very intimate workshop. This is going to support y'all and have an identity reset, y'all. Like, I'm letting y'all know, I'm not telling y'all that just to fill y'all's ears up with la la land. Like, I'm telling you, I need you guys to understand that when it comes to what I help you guys do in real time, I tell y'all so much, and you can only learn so much when I'm talking to you guys. I'm at a point where I want to teach y'all how to apply it in real time. So through this workshop that I'll be hosting on Saturday with my lovely people, whoever comes, I'm super excited. Through the workshop, you guys will be identifying the root cause of what's making you overwhelmed and overthinking. You'll be able to see your patterns, and you'll be able to take control of your life and not be manipulated anymore, because now you'll be self-aware enough to set boundaries and feel validated and strong and confident in setting those boundaries. So make sure you sign up. I pinned it in the description. Also, I do need to put it in the comments for y'all. Let me put it in the comments for y'all, because I know. Make sure y'all sign up. Make sure y'all sign up. I'll see y'all this Saturday, but we're going to keep the conversation going. Sometimes you eat meals and still be hungry. Yeah, that could be a few things. It could be because you don't have enough protein in your meals. I'm not the nutritionist or dietitian, y'all, but just from my own experience, if you are still hungry after eating, it could be because you don't have enough protein. And on top, John, on top of that, it could be because your meals are highly processed. So your body never feels satisfied in the meals. Oh, shout out to Rico. I love a wedding. It's a black wedding, Rico. I love that. Let me know. What you gonna be? You gonna be one of the groomsmen? What you gonna be doing? So, when you become emotionally intelligent and you become spiritually mature, you'll be able to honor the feelings that you have about whatever you're doing. Like, I remember I used to like really not like someone who I worked with. And I used to feel bad because I felt like, well, they're just trying their best. They're still doing their job. They do really well in their job. But I had to really be like, I do not like this person. I don't like them. I don't like them, you know? And when I finally admitted that, I could take action in like hiding from the person and not being seen by the person. Because I'm not going to be like, I don't like you. We at work, you know? But, you know, creating space is necessary. So I was able to do what I needed to do to create space. Hey, baby. You want to say hi to the live? My son is asleep. Come here, Sonny Winnie. Come here, my baby. Come here, baby. Come here, Bubba. He don't want to come. He don't want to say hi, y'all. Sage will get married, I can tell. We'll see. Y'all remember when we used to joke about that all the time last year? When I tell y'all, in real life, that's a pet peeve of mine, is hearing men tell me that. Like, it's funny on the internet when you see it on the internet, like, it's funny. But in real life, that's a real pet peeve of mine. Like, don't be trying to tell me I'm your wife and you ain't put a ring on my finger. I hate hearing that. It be irritating me. But anywho, so when you are at peace in a relationship, like, you don't need all the extra stuff. Like, when you're at peace, you don't feel that rush of energy. You don't feel that hyperventilation. You don't feel your chest getting tight, your breathing getting heavier and dense, and you struggling to breathe. Like, None of that is happening, okay? None of that is happening. So make sure that if you are feeling any of those, it's possible that you are in a position where you are feeling like you're manipulated, or that your boundaries are not withholding and standing up in real time. M on your palm of the hand, you was gonna get married. Who said that? They reading hands. I'm valuable. Oh, thank you, Lions for Lambs. I appreciate that. You have one on both hands. Let me show y'all my hands. Now, don't y'all be going reading my hands. I don't see an M, y'all. I see a chicken's foot, y'all. I see a chicken's foot. Bible is wild. I never heard that before. You got 2 wives, Andrew. I'm dead. Time to judge Lions is funny. Okay, here's the last one. When you can stop doing this, you will feel it. You will feel the attachments being removed in your life. It will be gone, okay? When you no longer need to explain yourself. When you no longer need to explain yourself, you will be free. You'll be set free. When you don't need to explain yourself, you don't need validation. Ain't nobody manipulating you. Because it is what it is. I said what I said. I remember I had to say that to somebody who was trying to play me and was trying to manipulate me. Mind y'all, I think I told y'all that already, but there was a person in my life who created havoc in not just my life, but other people's lives. And that person had terrible things happen to him, and I felt really happy about it. But I told myself I can't be feeling bad. I mean, I can't be feeling happy for other people's downfalls, because that will reflect in my life in some way, and I don't want that. You know, I want my life to be okay. So I've been subconsciously just like, but I'm not trying to like dance on people's grave, you know, right now. So when you no longer need to explain yourself, you don't need to argue. Like, ain't no arguments because I said what I said. I remember one time, this was family. I was on like a FaceTime. It was a Google Meet call with family members. And I had 2 family members just yelling at me, like going off on me. And I was just like this. Interesting. And then when they got done, they was like, oh, because I didn't respond in the way that they were typically used to people responding to them. And they were like, you see, she didn't even yell back. She didn't even like try to, you know, confront us, or she didn't even try to explain her point. And I said, yeah, because I know I'm right. I don't need to argue with nobody. There's nobody who I'm arguing with. I don't even like arguing. It's just not something that I do. Like, I'm not arguing with you. There's no reason to argue with you. If you are so hell-bent on believing what you believe, go ahead and believe it. I honestly don't care. Like, there's only a few people who one thing about me, I will always give my opinion. But if you do not take it, I don't care. This is your life. I have my own life to live. If I'm so worried about somebody else taking my opinion or believing in what I say, I'm wasting my time. You're not paying me. The only person who I'm going to be trying to make them believe in what I say is a judge and a loan officer, so that they can give me a loan if I need it. That's the only people. Other than that, it's not too many people who I'm going to be worried about them believing what I say. You know, you trying to argue, you trying to defend yourself, you trying to justify, you keep reacting. Like, there's no reason. There is no reason for you to be trying to have people believe you. Like, you could be sitting up here talking about the sky is blue and everybody talking about the sky is green. If they don't believe the sky is blue, who cares? Like, it's people who don't even look up at the sky. Like, seriously. So people think that keeping to yourself and being silent is weak, but in all reality, you not giving a care in the world about somebody believing you means that you're a sovereign being. Hey, Fanta girl. How you been? I think this is Fanta who was on my tarot lives, right? What time is it in the USA? It's 7:35 Central Time. I don't care exactly, Andrew. I don't care. There's nothing to... I don't have a reason to believe for you to believe me. I don't have no stake in the game. And that's another thing that I was telling my younger, well, did I tell him that? I think I'm gonna tell him. I'll be forgetting what I say. I just be talking so much. Y'all know I talk a lot. But when it comes to real life, society will try to tell you who you are and what standards to live at. John. Society will try to tell you who you are and what standards to live towards. And people base their success on other people's standards, on societal standards. But true success is knowing that you've achieved. Catch you in the replay, Vanna. I'll see you later, girl. So true success is doing what you believe is what you need to do. Like, for instance, let's say you're 35 years old. Society will tell you by 35 years old, you need to be married, have a baby, white picket fence, a good job, all these things. But what if you never wanted to have children? What if you don't believe in marriage? What if you don't even want to live in a house? You want to live in an apartment? Success for you could be 35 years old, working at the post office. What if by 35 years old, you was in the military and you get disability and you getting $5,000 a month? You can work wherever you want to. But somebody gonna be like, well, you 35 years old working at the post office. Well, you don't know that I get $5K because I was in the military and I got a disability. People will try to tell you what is success for you. And if you believe what society tells you, then you'll always be reaching for the sky, trying to grasp something that is outside of you, and you'll never be satisfied. True satisfaction occurs when you make your own goals and you meet your own goals. Outside of that, why are you trying to live for other people's standards, other people's goals? You think you're supposed to have 3 kids and you don't want any. But it causes cognitive dissonance. It really does, y'all. It really do. So that's all that I really want to say altogether. Like, you don't want to be manipulated. You don't want to be taken advantage of. Then you need to build your own self-awareness and be your own internal authority. And that's what I'm really leaning to. Y'all stop it. That's what I'm really trying. I feel like I'm leaning towards this channel to being someone who speaks on self-authority. And I like to do that. Stop it. Stop it. Anywho, someone who speaks on internal authority, self-authority, all those, really the word will be internal authority, and supporting individuals in building their own internal authority, because that's why so many people feel afraid to build relationships, afraid to go out and reach their goals and achieve their goals, afraid to cut people off, afraid to really trust their own judgment, is because they don't have a strong internal authority. Y'all know every single day I teach people communication. Real-time communication. Y'all talking about a law firm. Y'all know Miana, the communication specialist. The communication specialist, that's who I am. That's who I am, you know. So real-time, every day I teach people real-time communication, but who teaches you how to communicate with yourself? Who teaches you how to communicate with yourself? People are not teaching you how to communicate with yourself, have self-awareness, improve your executive functioning. People are not teaching you how to trust your intuition, know what your intuition is, hear it, decipher it. People are not teaching you that. People are not teaching you how to listen to your thoughts, judge your thoughts. People are not teaching you that. And I realize every day that with me coming up on here on live, especially coming from like going to tarot to like shifting the topics that I talk about, I really, really enjoy teaching you guys how to trust yourself, hear yourself, talk back to yourself, program yourself. I really do. Y'all funny. First of all, John, why you keep saying fashion? What is that? Let me know. I'm confused. Y'all are hilarious, bro. So I'm gonna let y'all know one more time. Y'all need to sign up. I'm gonna put it in the comments one more time for y'all. Y'all need to sign up for the this Saturday. If you're not there, baby, you don't want to personally develop. You do not want more for yourself. If you are not signing up, you do not want more for yourself. You do not want to build the skills so that you can communicate with yourself, so that you can decipher what your beliefs are and what other people's beliefs are. You don't want to see what your ideal of success is. You want to stay in other people's idea of success. If you not signing up, that's okay, because that's probably what you are wanting in your life right now. So make sure y'all sign up. I will see y'all Saturday. What's today, Monday? I'll post a couple of little things this week. Maybe I have something that I wanted to post from the live yesterday, but I forgot to post it, y'all. If y'all want to say anything before we leave, let me know what y'all want to talk about. No in between pop up this week. I might, but I think next week I'll be on live more often. It's spring break, so I'll have a lot more time. Who knows though, because sometimes I'll say that and then I end up doing stuff and I just be like, oh, I don't have the time or energy, so I don't know. I might. Oh, for sure. I'm like, why is people saying, why are you saying fashion? I'll get you now. When you going back to karaoke. Hold up. Let me see. What song y'all want me to sing? What's that song? Y'all ready? Hold up. What do I need? I need something. This is a microphone. Y'all hear me? Oh, killing me softly, and I'm still falling, still the one I need. I will always be with you. Oh, you got me all gone. Don't ever let me go. Say it real loud if you fly. If you leave me, you out of your mind. Period. There y'all go. Y'all get free karaoke from me. It's crazy. It's crazy. So if y'all can name that song, I'll give you a high five. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's evening. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's evening, y'all. Happy Monday. And I'll see y'all on Saturday for whoever joins. Okay, Beyonce. Rico know everything. I promise y'all, Rico know everything. He know what's going on. You can't call it. Not y'all talking about bleeding. Lil Peaches though. My girl LA Peaches though. Countdown period. The people who know. Sean being a hater. Sean, you better stop hating. You better stop hating, girl. But anyway, I love y'all. Y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all later. Bye.